Okay. Perfect. All right. So it seems like volume is working. Everything looks good. Yay, yay, yay. Gonna give it just a minute and see if you guys get the notification. Fingers freaking crossed. I'm gonna go ahead and put my headband on. We're gonna do some skincare. I know that you guys have not really been getting my notifications for any of my videos. I don't know. Someone said that they think I'm shadow banned. That is very possible. I don't know. Um, so I know a lot of you were like, I didn't even know that you had posted. I'm going to go in with the Star Kisser by Truly really quick. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't look like anybody's getting any notifications because there should definitely be at least someone in here, and there's not. So. We will just do this live and hope that you guys get to see it after I post it. But anyways, let me go shut this door. This is not looking good, you guys. I can't believe that no one is on here. It's so weird to do a live with no one watching. But I am going to do this for you guys, just for those of you who are going to watch this later, so that you can catch up and all that. I am going to go in with the Ciate Watermelon Burst lip oil. This is like my favorite lip oil of all time. So where do we start? Let's go back 2 weeks ago. I was super sick and was diagnosed with an upper respiratory infection. Let's start there. Get diagnosed with the upper respiratory infection. Everything's fine, whatever. I got diagnosed with that, I believe, Wednesday 2 weeks ago. So not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday before. Get diagnosed, and I'm off of work. Go back to work that Saturday. Not feeling good that Saturday, but it's not terrible. I'm there, if that makes sense. I'm there. I'm not feeling 100%, but it's not the end of the world. So I'm going in now with the Rose by Fresh. It's the Deep Hydration Facial Toner. So anyways, go to work Saturday. I'm off that Sunday and Monday. Monday, I start to feel pretty rough. And when I was originally diagnosed with the upper respiratory infection, plus a sinus infection, and a double ear infection. So I was diagnosed with a lot. Like there was a lot going on. When I was originally diagnosed, um, I would say on like a scale from 1 to 10, as far as how I felt in comparison to how I was going to feel, now that I know, I would say that I was maybe a 3.5. Monday, I don't feel great, but I'm like, okay, maybe it got better, but now it's getting bad again. I don't know. Tuesday comes and I go to work. Within 30 minutes of me getting to work, I go from not okay, like kind of bad, like a 4, to like a 7. I'm feeling really, really bad. And I'm thinking, okay, what is this? Why is it getting worse? Whatever. But like I'm feeling really bad. I'm going in with the Nemia Burr Cooling Eye Stick. Um, like I said, it was bad. Like, and it happened out of nowhere. And it was like my fatigue got so bad that Tuesday that I couldn't even hold my eyes open. Like I was so tired. It was so bad. And my boss even like asked me that day, he was like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No, I do not feel good." Like straight up, I do not feel good. And he's like, "Okay, well, just keep me posted on how you're feeling." So by this point, it's probably like 6:30. I get off at or not 6:30, like 5:30, and I get off at 6:15, and I start feeling really bad. Like my head starts pounding. It feels like my eyes are going to pop out of my head, like really, really bad. And I ended up leaving like right then, like right when I started feeling bad. At the end of December, I found you through your Stripper Magic review. I did not. And I'm going to be really honest with you guys. When Stripper Magic came out, I was still a Jeffree Star supporter. So let's talk about this really quick because I've had a lot of you guys come from that particular video. And I just want to make it clear that I do still have Stripper Magic. It's right here. I do still have my Jeffree Star lipstick collection. I still have Jeffree Star products. Don't get me wrong. However, I do not support Jeffree Star as a person. And for me, if I don't support a person, I don't feel comfortable supporting their brand on my channel. And I'm very much a person who, with time, if you prove your change, I am willing to then go and support you. But I need to see a period of time where you are showing and proving that change. I'm very much Sagittarius that way. I am a Scorpio rising, and I'm very much that way where, if I really fuck with you, like I fuck with you really hard. But if you let me down and disappoint me, I need you to show me that you've changed. I can't just go off of your Snapchats of you in another state and you're raising cattle now. That's great, but there's been so much stuff come out that's like over the past couple of years that just I don't know. I just have not purchased from his brand. The last thing I actually purchased from his brand, which I will show you guys right now, was the Conspiracy palette when it went on sale. So, for those of you guys who haven't watched Jeffree and you haven't kept up with it, basically what happened was Morphe decided to cancel their relationship with Jeffree Star Cosmetics. When they did that, Morphe has so basically when you are a brand, so Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and you work with Ulta and Morphe and places like that, they take a certain quantity of your products. So, say for example, they want 50,000 pallets of the Conspiracy palette. They want 50,000 pallets of, whatever it may be, Stripper Magic, like whatever. And they decide not to sell your product anymore. They discount that product, and then a certain amount of pallets they will save to discount, and they'll have a sell by date. And if they don't sell by that date, that is when you will start seeing products in TJ Maxx, Burlington, Marshalls, Burke's Outlet. You'll start seeing their products in places like that. Well, another thing that brands can do is they can buy back their product. Hi, Krista, which I do believe, I know that Jeffree has said that he didn't do this, but allegedly, my personal opinion, I think that Jeffree bought back some of his product. And I'm going to tell you why. Why else would you, on a collab such as one with Shane Dawson, who he claims to be his best friend, why would you discount those products and only those for a while if you didn't have more product than you thought you were going to have? That is why I think that Jeffree bought back some of what Morphe was going to sell to third party suppliers, which is like TJ Maxx, place like that. Also, and a lot of people have asked why I didn't do a review on this palette. A lot of people wanted my personal opinion on this palette. It is not in comparison to any other Jeffree Star palette that I've tried, and that's why I didn't. I didn't feel like beating a dead horse. Everybody was talking so much shit about Jeffree Star, about Shane Dawson at the time. And I'm not the type of person who believes in cancel culture. And I'm definitely not the type of person who believes in joining the crowd of let's just completely ruin someone's life. There were already so many people, thousands and thousands of people daily on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube who were literally dedicating like their career to exposing slash ending Jeffree Star's career. And when I tried this palette, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. There are two shades in this palette that I do like and I do use. Do I have those two shades in other palettes? Absolutely. So I didn't want to post a review and it seemed like I was joining a hate train because I never want that to be the impression that you guys get. And I know that that is the impression you guys would have got at the time, especially considering all the people who were completely over Jeffree Star. However, if you haven't gotten the conspiracy palette and you would like a review, I do have it. As you can see, it much. There's still shades that I haven't even like touched. Um, I don't know. Like when I got disappointed, and when I get like that, like it's just really hard for me to get inspired by your work when you've disappointed me. The packaging is sickening. Um, I will say that the shimmers that I've used in this palette are really good. Trisha is like one of my all-time favorites out of this palette. Trisha and Ranch are my two favorites. I also love Tanacon. A lot of people talk about that shade. It is really good. The red and the orange in this, these two right here are terrible. It's the worst red I've ever worked with. Flaming Hot and Cheese Dust, they're terrible. It just doesn't do it for me. No, they are very chalky, exactly, and that is why I didn't wanna do a review on it because they're terrible. Like, food videos, this one right here, it swatches and this is why I say, and I tell you guys all the time, do not base whether or not you're gonna buy a palette off of swatches. A lot of shades are gonna swatch beautifully, but how they apply with the brush is what matters, and I don't think that they took any time to play with this with brushes. I really don't. I feel like a lot of these shades were last minute concoctions. Yeah, Food Nose is terrible, but Tanacon is really good. It is a basic transition shade, a shade that I'm sure you have in 90 other palettes. If you're a collector of makeup like me, I'm sure you have it in many palettes. It's a very basic neutral shade. Ranch is a really beautiful white shimmer shade. I do like it. And as you can see, I have used it. This is probably the only shade that doesn't have its stamp still visible. And Trisha is really nice. I do like Trisha. But aside from that, yeah, it just didn't do it for me. That is why the only Jeffree Star review on my channel is the Stripper Magic. The unboxing of that $60 highlighter, which I do like. I have used quite a bit, but there's definitely still stamp. It does have, as you get further down in pan, it does have a very green, I'll show you. It does have a very green, do you see that? I mean, it's gorgeous, but like if I do like a green look or if I'm just wanting to like put like a shimmer shade on the lid and some liner and call it a day, this is like the one that I always go to. Um, but yeah, that's my thoughts on it. It's a very long answer, but that is my answer. That is why I didn't buy from the winter collection when everything was on sale. Sorry guys, my nose is still very runny. Um, they were on sale for 12. Wow. That's crazy. I did really think about buying that one collection. What was it? Let's see. I'll have to see which one. No, I don't want Beauty Bay. Here we go. Let me find this one because I really almost bought it. Here it is, the Pricked palette. If you guys would really want, I was going to do the Pricked collection and do a full review. But if you guys want a review on this palette, this is what it looks like. It's very much my cup of tea. Um, if you guys would be into having a video on the Pricked palette, let me know and I will order it. It is $52. So I really only want to order it if it's something that you guys like genuinely want to see a review of because I really don't feel like spending $52 on a Jeffree Star palette if you guys are not into it. I am going to go in with the Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Face Cream. This is my favorite moisturizer at the moment. It is really good for dry skin. So if you do have dry skin, I do recommend it. But back to COVID talk. So I got sick that Tuesday that I went to work. Krista wants a video. Okay. I'll order it for you guys. Um, are you from the South? I'm from Asheville, North Carolina. Then you're like 2 hours from me. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee. Born and raised, honey. Born and raised. Um, so Tuesday I go to work. I'm so sick all day. I got so sick on the way home that I literally had to pull over. I couldn't even drive. Um, okay, if you all will watch it, then I will order the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Prick palette and we will put it to the test and see if it's better than Conspiracy. Because I have some of the other Jeffree Star palettes. Um, I don't keep them on my vanity again because I don't support his brand, but nonetheless, I'm all for giving people second chances. And if you guys really do want a review of that palette, I will do it. Um, so I pull over on the way home. This was Tuesday night on my way home from work. I live probably 20 minutes from my job. So I couldn't even drive all the way home. My head was hurting so bad and my vision was getting messed up because my head was hurting so bad that like lights started to bleed together. So I pulled over. I got myself something for dinner and I started to eat my dinner in the car and it was like I couldn't hold my eyes open. I was so tired. I had to have Chris come and pick me up. So he comes and gets me, brings me home. Before he even gets there, I can feel myself with the fever. So he ran into Walgreens and got a thermometer, a better one. We have one, but it's not one that you can just rub across your forehead. And I felt like I needed a good one. So he got me that. He got me some Mucinex. I was already on a what do you call it? Z pack. I was on a Z pack. Um, but he got me some Mucinex. He got me some Tylenol. We get home, and it was like as soon as I walked through the door, and started to go towards the bedroom because all I could think about was laying down and going to bed. I'm on a medication that I have to take every day. I didn't even take that medicine. I literally laid down in the bed, fell asleep. 2 o'clock in the morning, I wake up shivering to the point that my mouth was hurting. It was rattling so hard. I'm not exaggerating. I am not a dramatic person. If you know me in life, you know that. And I was sweating so god dang bad, you guys. I was drenched. Like, and I'm gonna get a little personal here. I was sweating in my ass, my tits, everywhere, every crevice of my body, to the point that I felt like I had been like my legs hurt. Like I felt like I had been running. So I get up and I decide I'm gonna go take myself a shower. I get in the shower. I'm in the shower. I get so dizzy. I start to puke. I get nauseous. So let's run through the symptoms I had as of Tuesday night. I have a fever. I've had a cough for a week. I have headaches. I have body pain. I have nausea. I'm dizzy. Those were the things that I had at that point. Fast forward to the next morning. I finally take me some NyQuil. I try to stay away from NyQuil because I always feel terrible the next day after NyQuil. I go ahead and I message my boss at 2:30 in the morning that I have a fever. My fever was at 103.2, and I said I'm not going to be at work. I have a fever. So next morning I can't taste. I can't smell. And I'm like, okay, that's when I really got scared. When I couldn't taste and I couldn't smell, I was like, fuck, like, okay, this is serious. Keep in mind, I am fully vaccinated and boosted, the whole nine. So I'm like, okay. So I can't go to my doctor's office because my doctor's office still has the protocol that if you have a fever, you cannot come in, nor will they come out to the parking lot. So you can only do virtual doctor's appointments. Everything you're explaining, I've been feeling the pain was so bad that even my eyelashes, girl, exactly. It's it People compare it to the flu as far as pain goes because that's the closest thing that I can think of. If you've ever had the flu and bronchitis at the same time, that is closer, but it is intensified. It is not exactly like bronchitis and the flu at the same time. It's like flu times 5 plus bronchitis times 7. Like it's a lot. So keep in mind when these symptoms started, my cough was over. So that's why I was like, okay. But then also Wednesday morning, I had a hard time keeping my breath. So, and my shortness of breath is still hitting me. Like it's still hard for me to get up a full flight of stairs. I have to walk up a hill to leave for work every day. I'm completely out of breath and dizzy by the time I get to the car. So I schedule a virtual Skype doctor's appointment with my doctor. And he says, I want to see you today because I tell him all of my symptoms. He's like, I want to see you today. And he said, what is your fever at right now? I checked my fever. It was 103 point, literally 103.0 on the nose, 103. So he was like, okay, well, you can't come in, whatever. He said, exactly tell me how you're feeling. So I explained to him all the things. So at this point, I can't breathe. I've got shortness of breath. I have a headache. I have fever. And I had a fever straight for 3 days, but we're going to get into that. A fever, headaches, body aches, nausea, diarrhea had started at this point, the full thing. Okay. And I can't taste and I can't smell. Those were my symptoms at this point, Wednesday around noon. So he's like, I'm diagnosing you with COVID. He said, but you need to take a test. So he gave me a few options. He said that his office was out of them, which a lot of doctors' offices here in Tennessee are because COVID has skyrocketed in East Tennessee. So your real only options are if you can find a Walgreens with an appointment to make that appointment, or if you can find somewhere to do an at-home test. Yeah, it's terrible. Um, oh no, this was last week. This was last week. So this isn't this week. This was last week. So this was Wednesday. He said, okay, CDC guidelines have changed. So technically, you can go back to work on Tuesday as long as you don't have any symptoms for 24 hours. He said, but the rest of the week, you're going to be very sick. And he was freaking right. He was very right. It was fucking terrible. So I couldn't get a COVID test for a couple of days. So I freak out and I need to know now. So I decide that I'm going to do a basically, I'm going to postmate me a COVID test to the house. It gets here. I take the test. It's positive. I start to cry. I get real emotional. And all I felt like I could do was sleep. And so I remember crying myself to sleep. And this was Wednesday, probably around 4 o'clock, because Chris gets home at 4:30. And we decided that since we are fortunate enough to live in a 2-story house, both floors on, well, we have a 3-story house, but there's 2 living areas. Down here, this is where my beauty room, there's a full kitchen, full bath, everything. And then on the main floor, there's a full kitchen, full bath, everything, bedroom, all that. We decided that we were going to split the house so that he could quarantine away from me. So he took his COVID test, he passed. So he stayed away from me. That made me very emotional, but it was the right thing to do and the grown up thing to do so that we didn't have to compromise him. And we had enough tests for him to take daily rapid tests. Which fortunately, Chris has been now around. I'm the 8th person he's been around with COVID, and he still has not gotten it. He is fully vaccinated and boosted, but do keep in mind that that doesn't prevent you from getting COVID. It does help your symptoms, and I am so grateful that I got vaccinated. I'm not going to get into a debate over whether or not you believe in vaccination, but I will say this as far as, my past and my health and stuff, like, I am very grateful that I got vaccinated because I feel like if I wasn't vaccinated, that would have been probably the worst experience of my life. Um, anyways, those symptoms completely stayed, all the way until Sunday. Sunday is when I finally started to feel better. I would say I was like 80% better. Today, fast forwarding until now, um, I passed 2 COVID tests before I went back into society. That was what I was comfortable with, and my work allowed me to do whatever I was comfortable with. But up until this point, I can still not taste. I can smell, but my nose is stopped up, but I can smell. So that's nice. The taste thing is weird. But I almost don't even remember taste, if that makes sense. Um, I can smell, not taste. The main thing that has bothered me is my shortness of breath, which I feel like had I not been vaccinated, I feel like I probably would have been hospitalized due to my oxygen levels. Um, which was my fear, and that's why I wanted to get vaccinated because I smoked for so long and I'd done drugs and all of these things. I just knew that my oxygen levels was going to be like a huge thing. That's why I decided to get vaccinated and boosted. Um, but yeah, I will say, as someone who was fully vaccinated and boosted, I will say that my symptoms were manageable. Was it a walk in the park? Hell no. Hell to the no. And I think that, and this is whatever, you guys can get pissed or whatever, I do feel like COVID is something that we're going to have to deal with forever. I don't feel like COVID is something that's ever going to go away. I feel like Americans are too fucking selfish and self-centered to just do what they have to do and stay inside if you're fucking sick and etc. That I feel like we're actually going to be living this forever. 8 days after COVID. Let's see. I tested negative for COVID. I passed 2 tests on Sunday. Um, one Sunday, one Monday. But my actual symptoms started. So my doctor said that I actually had COVID for 2 weeks. He said that he misdiagnosed me with an upper respiratory infection. He actually diagnosed me the prior week with an upper respiratory infection, a sinus infection, and a double ear infection. And then the next week is when my symptoms like intensified. And then he diagnosed me with COVID. I'm like, sir, if you have any goddamn thought in your mind that someone has COVID, you need to test them for that. But that's also my stupidity because he was telling me that, oh, well, no, you don't have enough symptoms, blah, blah, blah. Y'all, my cough was so bad that it felt like my head was going to blow off my shoulders. That was the week before I tested positive for COVID. Granted, I didn't have a fever. I could taste, I could smell. I didn't have nausea. I didn't have diarrhea. There was like a lot of symptoms that I didn't have the week prior. But, anyways, so that was my experience. I feel 90% better. Like I said, I still cannot taste and I do still have shortness of breath. But compared to where I was this time last week, praise his name. Like for real, for real. Like I feel so much better than I did. So, yeah, all is good. I tested first because the one thing gave it away was my smell. It went away immediately. See, a lot of people have said it's either one or the other. By the way, has anybody tested positive for this new strand that just came out, this new variant or whatever? Because that's what I had, and I haven't talked but to one other person who has tested positive with this new strand. Bitch, I got a rash down my goddamn leg. I I forgot to mention this to you guys. So Wednesday morning, when I woke up feeling like death last week, I had a rash from my kneecap to my big toe on my left leg. Bitch, listen, I was like, what the hell? And when I talked to my doctor, he was like, that's 100% the new variant of COVID. I was like, what? He said, yeah, that's like one of the first symptoms that happen. I tested positive for the new variant this Monday. Krista, do you have a rash on your body? Y'all, I was freaking out. I was thinking this was going to scar me. Like it was bad, bad. If you follow me on Facebook, I will. Oh, I have it in my phone. What am I thinking? I can show you guys. Bitch, I took a picture and sent it to my mom in tears. I was scared for my goddamn life, y'all. Look at that shit. Apparently, that is the new one of the new symptoms. Yes, down my thighs. See, y'all listen. This new variant. Now, the last variant, I had a coworker who tested positive for with the last variant, and she said that her limbs were numb. I didn't have that symptom, but I did have the rash. So apparently, depending on what variant you get, they use your symptoms that you have to kind of narrow it down. That way, they don't have to test you for all the variants. But yeah, I tested positive for whatever the hell this new one is, Delta, Dawn variant, Jerome, whatever the fuck. Um, by the way, I'm going in with the Deep Hydration Oil Infused Serum. This is by Fresh. All I gotta say is, and this one you put in your palm, and then you kind of mix it with your hands and pat it on your face. All I gotta say is if you test or you don't fucking feel good, just keep your ass at home. It's literally as simple as that. Keep your ass at home. And I know exactly who got me fucking sick. Omicron. Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't keep up with all this shit. And then, did you guys see on fucking TikTok, bitch? On fucking TikTok, where they're saying that the pandemic of 2022 is going to be a goddamn crow flu? Literally, when I seen that on TikTok, do you know what was playing in my head? I think I have it on my phone too. Hold on. Literally. I'm pretty sure I do. I might not. When I fucking heard this shit, bitch, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Here it is. That's literally what fucking played in my head was Hell to the Gnaw. Like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. There is a new variant to COVID every goddamn month, and now we're dealing with crows. Crows? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not. Telling y'all. This is the Catrice Glow Booster Serum. It is a 10% vitamin complex. I like to go in with 2 different complexes depending on what my skin is, like, wanting the most, and, of course, right now, it is moisturization, hydration. My skin is dry. There is a new one, not much case, but it's combined with Delta and Deltacron. God dang. That one's nice. And then also by Catrice, I'm gonna go in with this one. This is a 2% pre and probiotic complex by Catrice. If you're wanting some skincare and you're needing to ball on a budget, yeah, I know exactly who gave it to me, which I work with the general public. And when this guy came into my store, I remember telling my coworker, I was like, that guy sounded absolutely horrible, which we work with the public, so we wear all of our safety stuff, whatever. Um, but literally the only thing that, and we're in the state of Tennessee, so we do not have a mask mandate. We don't. And so most businesses around here, though, the company has them wear masks. But again, it's not a mandate because our state does not mandate that we have to wear one. So um, up front, we have this little plastic divider. I'm sure you've seen them in a convenience store near you. We have this fucking waste of goddamn space. Why they put that up, I don't know. It does nothing. I digress. This guy comes in not wearing a mask, and I've told you guys about the people that I have at my job all the time. And literally, you guys, at the end of the month, into the beginning of the month, there are people, there are these little hillbilly ass towns, and I can say that I'm from here that surround Knoxville. Okay. And they're up on the mountains, and at the end of the month and the beginning of the month, they travel off the goddamn mountain and come into Knoxville and, you know, cohabitate with the rest of us. And they don't know how to fucking act. And this guy comes in on oxygen, mind you, hacking his fucking head off. He sounded so fucking terrifying. Has no mask, nothing, whatever. He's dirty, like, which is normal in East Tennessee. People work on farms or whatever. This was not from working outside or being a mechanic. No, this was filth. It was very sad. But he comes in, and of course, he's talking to me, and he's getting right up in my face, and he's hacking and coughing. No mask was going to protect that shit. I don't care how thick my mask was. I was wearing um, the ones that our job provides, which is like top of the line, whatever type of masks. Bitch, it was terrible. And I literally went back and told my coworker, I said, I guarantee that man just gave me COVID. Literally 4 days after is when I got sick. 4 fucking days, ho. 4 days. I can't with that shit. I can't. I am going to now go in with some Glow Recipe Watermelon Grow, not Glow, niacinamide. My kids covered as well. It was my sister-in-law who's a nurse and waited until everyone left her house New Year's to tell me and the hubby that she tested positive the night before. Hell no. I would have been pissed. And she's a nurse? Absolutely fucking not. That is literally the fucking definition of a new aged dickhead. Like, for real. That is such a dickhead move. And how dangerous. with your kids and stuff. Like, what the hell was she thinking? I'm now going to go in with the Nemia License to Glow Serum. If you've watched my video on the Nemia collection, you guys know that this is my favorite product from it. This is Nikki Tutorials brand, and I am so obsessed with it. Do you see how beautiful? It literally makes your skin look so nice. Yeah, I would have been pissed. I would have went the absolute fuck off. I'm gonna go in with some Dior Lip Balm. So let me ask your guys' opinion on what you want this week. Obviously, I wasn't able to film Sunday for you guys because I was sick. Yes, it's so nice. If you guys have not gotten the collection from Nemia yet, run, don't walk. It's so nice. It's a 5-piece collection for $98.99. I love every single piece of that collection. But the serum is definitely my favorite. Anywho, would you guys like the one of the last parts of the stalker story to go up? I'm going to upload it on Sunday, so I'm going to film it tomorrow night. Do you guys want the last part of the stalker? One of the last parts. I think I have 3 stories still left to tell. There's actually 5, but 2 of them I am going to have you guys hold out for them. So one of the last of that series, would you guys want that? Or would you guys want a story time on something else? Let me know. Also, if you are not following me on TikTok, you are missing a shitload of little small stories. I've told 2. They both have went viral. You guys are loving them. So if you're not following me on TikTok, it's at morganshay33. You should be following me. I'm going to go in with my Youth Serum. Now, this is the one thing of everything that I've showed you guys. Now, a lot of my things are bougier, I will say. But this is like the biggest bougie product that I have. This is my Youth Serum. I swear by this stuff. I get asked all the time, Morgan, how did you smoke for 15 years and not have one wrinkle or age spot on your skin? It is because of this. This is the serum of all serums. This is the serum to end all serums. If you buy anything from what I'm showing you, these are my holy grail skincare products. But if you're like, okay, I want to invest in one really good skincare product, it's this. Now, this is this is the smaller one. It lasts me about 6 months for the smaller. Okay. There's a bigger one that's $100. This one is 50 for the small one. I want the stalker series when I get my wine ready. Okay, I'm going to upload it on Sunday. So it will not be up till Sunday. But this is the Shiseido Ultimate Power Infusing Concentrate. It is a youth serum. It is fantastic. Can you have your wine ready by Sunday, Suzanne? It also has a really tacky formula to it. So this is also a really nice one to put underneath your foundation. It's my favorite to put underneath as a moisturizer for like brides and stuff like that. What? That is hilarious. I just got the craziest text I think I have ever received. So that's probably going to have to be a whole story time. All right. Well, you got it. Sunday, we'll tell that story. I have another story I'm probably going to upload next week. of something that's been going on the past few weeks. You guys are going to fucking die when you hear the story. Anyways, as you can tell, this is a very loved product. I swear by this stuff. Okay. I don't care if you're oily. I don't care if you're dry. I don't care if you're combo. I don't care what your skin is like. You need a good facial oil, even if it's just a little drop at night. You need it. Um, yeah, I can't taste shit. I can't taste nothing. But this is the Bellamy Baobab. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Facial oil, y'all. This is that one product that stays the same. Now, my Youth Serum is another one. I don't change it up, but I don't want my skin to get used to some of the products. So I do try to switch around like my toner and different things like my moisturizer, things like that. This doesn't change. It's the same brand. I use it every single time. I have a full bottle over here. I just don't want to open it until I've used this one because I still have till March the 1st before I've had this bottle 12 months. So it definitely lasts you the year. But I go in about that much, I guess like a quarter of a pump. And I like to use a lot because your skin is going to drink this up through the night. I promise you. Put the rest on the top of your hands. And then you want to go in with some type of hyaluronic. Um, so, how often do I prefer or suggest to switch it up? All the products in my routine, I switch up every 6 months. Okay. Because typically the products that I'm using right now, they're going to last me about 6 months. I don't really suggest, unless it is a facial oil, to keep a certain skincare product for longer than 6 months. I feel like after that time, the ingredients, they're not what they were when you first opened that container. So I don't recommend that you hold on to them. I recommend that you then, you know, recycle them properly, depending on what type of component that they're in. Recycle those properly and switch them up. Try something different. If you want to get yourself like a little trial size, if you don't have other products that you already stick to, me, I have two different routines and I switch them out every 6 months. So when I run out of this Nemia eye stick, I'm going to go back to my eye serum by Tatcha. The only two products that stay the same are my Bellamy facial oil and my Shiseido Youth Serum. Those two products, as soon as I run out, I order a new one of the same. Everything else, I switch out. My Fresh Rose moisturizer, that will get swapped out, and I will go back to the Sunday Riley. Um, that one is my favorite. Um, the Truly Star Kisser, the lip mask, I will switch that one out and I will go back to what's it called? It starts with an L. I'm sure you guys know the lip mask I'm talking about. Everybody talks about it. Um, so on and so forth. My toner, I'll switch out and I actually prefer Thayer's when I'm not using this one. So, just like with, anything else in life, you get tired of it. It's important. Your skin is the same way. If you continue to use the same things on your face, your skin's going to get used to it and it's not going to continue to do the same thing that it used to do. The only two products, like I said, that I stick to the same are my Youth Serum and my facial oil. Those are the best of their kind. So I feel no need to switch them up. But like my little complexes, I will still get Catrice complexes. I'll just get two different ones. Um, Same with like my toner. I'll still get a hydrating toner because I'm very dry, and a toner is a very drying thing. So, I just get a different version of whatever it is in my step. But this one right here, typically what I use is the Rock. You can get it at the drugstore, the little pearl, hyaluronic pearl things. That's what I typically use. But this company sent me this hyaluronic pearl serum, and it has little pearls in it of hyaluronic acid. um, I like to put this on my skin pretty fast after I put that oil on. I go in with two full pumps. And I like to mesh that in with the facial oil. And I just want to use the rest of this product that Spa Life sent me before I go in with my rock hyaluronic pearl. They're little pearl things. I'm sure if you're on TikTok, you've seen people use them. They've been all over TikTok. I just had one go in my damn ring. God bless it. Um, anyways, I'm sure you have seen people go on and on about them. They are worth the hype. They're so good. They're like $7, $8, and you get like 50 of them or something crazy. But I recommend, especially if you're oily, mix in, even if you're not, even if you're dry. But if you're oily, I'm going to recommend that you mix in a vitamin E or a niacinamide um, little pearls. You can even get them at Costco, Sam's, like everywhere. Get you some of those to mix in with your facial oil. Put it on directly after your facial oil. And if you're dry like me, stick with hyaluronic acid. That's the best. Um, but yeah, and then let me get it back here. You want to go in with a facial spray with good ingredients. I normally go in with the Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist, but I got this Nemia collection. This was part of it, and I prefer this over my skincare because it has really good skincare ingredients such as niacinamide, vitamin E, vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, a bunch of good stuff. The Nemia skincare line is really good for high pigmentation rosacea, dry skin, oily skin. It's really good no matter what kind of skin you got going on. If you have a preteen, or you have hormonal acne, this line is fantastic. But I like to drench my face in a facial spray, and I'm going to use the Nemia. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like a very faint smell of sugar cookie. And then I'm going to take the little Nemia fan. This came in that collection. Turn it all the way up and dry my face down. And then, just as the very last thing, I don't think it's in here. Here she is. I have been, this isn't the one I want though. I want the oil, not the balm. I have way too much lip gloss. Here it is. Okay, I have been obsessed with these. Catrice sent me like a goodie bag, and this was in there. And you guys, I seen that. I didn't hear about drinking their blood. I don't know. They're into some things, but I did see their engagement. It was very cute. I now am waiting on um what's his name and Courtney Kardashian. I feel like they're Travis. I feel like they're very much to be next. Um, also, RIP to Betty White, RIP to Bob Saget. Literally two sitcom fucking legends were taken. One at the very end of 2021, setting a very negative tone for 2022. That was very fucking rude. Betty White, she went right before her 100th birthday. And now we have Bob Saget right at the beginning of 2022, again, setting a very negative fucking tone. Um, so yeah, two sitcom legends. We have Betty White from the Golden Girls, who went on to do so much shit, but Bob Saget, who whoever happened to the disability, the milkman, the paperboy, E-Man, Stevie, like Full House. Like if you didn't watch that shit growing up, you are not a millennial, and I'm sorry. But if you are a millennial like myself, RIP to Bob Saget. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, this is the Powerful Five Glossy Lip Oil by Catrice. It has hyaluron, almond oil, jojoba oil, avocado oil, and coconut oil. And there is a 5 pack that you can get for $7 on Catrice.com. Waiting just around the bell. Everywhere you look, everywhere. By the way, if you're on Snapchat, did you see the thing about everyone's post to Bob Saget? Like Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, they never talk about being on Full House. Their little post to Bob Saget literally made my heart hurt. Trying so hard to be edgy or pushing the envelope. I know. I just cannot believe that Betty White passed away. You know, like if you're a Facebook person, then like people always, she's one of those people. It's like those posts about the new Twilight movie coming out 2026. Like people always making up those posts. Like I remember like her death being on Facebook one time and like I thought it was real. I was like, "What?" And it wasn't. So when Chris told me Betty White passed away, I was like, "No, like, there's some loser on Facebook who made a post and it's went viral." Then I went to Twitter and seen, no, actually, she passed away. No, her birthday was like weeks away. Yeah, her birthday was January 17th, and she died the last day of 2021. But she would have been 100 if she would have made it to January 17th, which she was, yeah, because she was born in 1922. So she would have been 100 in 2022. Yeah, literally. Literally, bitch, 3 weeks before she was gonna be 100 years old, 2021 was like, "One more thing before I go." Like, what the fuck? As if you didn't take enough from us, 2021. You then took Betty White, and then we start to trust 2022, and they're like, "Wait, Bob Saget." I'm like, "What the fuck? That was rude as hell." You didn't even anyways, this live is dedicated to Betty White and Bob Saget. Rest high on that mountain. All the Golden Girls are together now, which literally makes my heart ache even thinking about them all, like just hanging out, living their lives. And oh, I love it. That was my skincare routine. Again, I will be posting a story time on Sunday. So be sure that you are subscribed, join the fam jam, turn your notifications on, do all the things so that you're notified when I go live. It's very sporadic. When I post, it's very sporadic. All of the things. Be sure that you're following me on TikTok at Morgan Shay 33. Be sure you're following me on Instagram. Everything, Facebook, all of the books and spaces and grams are linked below. So be sure that you go and follow me on all those. I love you guys so much. And until the very next time, bye.